to learn? Tried and tired of monitoring website snaps? Don't worry, you're here in the right place. Welcome to Coders. Welcome Coders. In today's video, we are going to learn about basics of functions in C and C++. So without any delay, let's go into the video. First, what is function? A function is a set of statements that take inputs, do some specific computation and produces output. The idea is to put some commonly or repeatedly done tasks together and make a function so that instead of writing the same code again and again for different inputs, we can call the function. In previous video, we have seen how to do some simple operations in programming. Now, this function makes it very easier to do any task. Let us take an example. If you have to calculate the total of the students, like we have number of students. So instead of writing for each and every student, we can make a function of calculating a total so that for each and every input, we can just call the function instead of writing those same code again and again. So there are three steps in function. They are declare, define and call. First, let us see what is declaration. A function declaration tells the compiler about the number of parameters function takes, data types of parameters and return type of function. Here the declaration statement, it will tell it need to have three information. The one is the number of the parameter function takes or the number of input the function takes. A function may or may not take an input from the main function, but it needs to be specified in the declaration statement, that is what number of parameter the function takes. If there is no parameter, we can leave this bracket empty. And the second one we need to mention is data types of the parameters. That is, if you are going to pass the input and pass in value, we have to mention what is the type of that value. We've already seen what is data type. So you have to mention the data type of the values you are passing. And the third information you have to specify is that return type of the function. The return type is the data type of the return value, which the function may or may not return any value to the main function. So if at all a function is going to return a value, you have to mention it. If not, you can mention it as void. Void means the function is not returning any value. So syntax is return type, function name and parameters. Example, int total, int mark1 and int mark2. So here int is the return type and total is the function name and mark1 and mark2 are the parameters we are passing to the function. Next step is definition of a function. A function definition provides the actual body of the function. Let us see an example. Int total mark1 int mark2. So inside the curly brackets, we'll type the code of the function have to do. So in the function definition also you have to mention the return type, total, that is name, and parameters. So inside this curly brackets you can type the code. So what we have to do is we have to calculate the total. For that I am declaring another variable called total. Total equal to mark1 plus mark2. And we are going to return this total to the main function. This is a separate function. So the last step and the important step is calling. Calling a function using name at required place is called function calling. Example, mark equal to total of 60, 78 and semicolon. Here I am using the function name to call a function, and also my function takes two values, that is input, that is two parameters. Here I am passing two parameters, and also my function is returning a value, so that I am storing the value which is this function is going to return in a variable called mark. We don't consider this calling statement as a value, the compiler will throw an error. And also, if the parameters are mismatched, that is, if you are going to pass three parameters where the function we have defined is for two parameters, again the compiler will throw an error. The compiler will check for the name and number of parameters. It will find a matching function to call. So I'm storing this return value in mark and I'm printing the mark. So let us now see this practically. Now let us create the same function we have seen in the example. For that, first let us type hash include iOS_frame. In Dev C++, we will not use .h for input and output statement, and also we will add using namespace std semicolon. And now we are going to define the function. So int total is the function name and the parameters are mark1 and mark2. Inside the function we are going to declare total, variables to store mark1 plus mark2, and then we are returning this total. Now let us type the main function. So main. Inside the main function, here also I am declaring another variable mark, so that I could store the return value from the function. So mark equal to total of any value we can give. Let us assume a mark of a bright student. So let us give 90 and 92. And the next step is to print the mark. So cout mark. So this mark, the first one I've used is to give the user the information that we are going to print the mark, and this one is the actual variable which value we are going to print. So let us execute this program. So it is showing an error. We forgot to mention int here. So now let us execute. So we have got the output. The mark is 182. So that's all for today. Now a problem for you. Try to define a function to swap the value. Right? Pass two value to the function. Try to swap the value and print the swapped value. So for this problem, we will see answer in the next video. So thank you everyone for watching this video. If you like it, please do like and comment in the comment section and share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel Coders Crash. If you don't like the video, please mention it in the comment section so that I can rectify the next video. Hope you all liked it, and please stay tuned for the next videos.